You want to know how to get a job in Germany after your master's degree. It doesn't matter if you are about to finish your master's or are in the last stages. The next few days and months are going to be extremely crucial for you. So let me help lay down the roadmap for you and share some ways on how to get a job in Germany after masters. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Essen. I came to Germany in 2015 for a master's degree and have been working as a full-time employee since 2017. So I know firsthand what you might be going through at the moment. I'll be sharing multiple scenarios and tips throughout the video, so make sure that you watch it in the end, as I'm very confident that you will find some interesting insights that can help you land a job in Germany. Now, in an ideal world, you should have a job contract already signed by the end of your master's in Germany. But we don't live in an ideal world. Even though it happened with me, I don't think such situations happen that often. I was lucky being at the right place at the right time, and you might not be that lucky. But we can prepare ourselves to be ready to grab important opportunities that come our way, or even create such situations ourselves. For that, we have to start early. Let's say your master's program is 3 semesters in total, 2 for your coursework and 1 for your thesis. Your goal should be to get industry exposure during your studies. You can get it by looking for HEVI or WEG student jobs, internships, or getting a thesis position in the industry or a research institute. This helps you fill in the important experience section in your CV. Now, you might have years of experience before your master's degree, but unfortunately, some companies simply do not consider it, while others prefer candidates who already have some experience in the German work environment. When I was a student, I was unable to find any jobs in the first semester. By the middle of the second semester, I was able to land my first job, which was a heavy position in the university. And during my second semester, I had also started applying for internships and thesis positions in the industry. Unfortunately, I wasn't getting any interview calls for a thesis nor an internship. Most of my internship applications were rejected because I was applying for voluntary internships, as there was no mandatory program in my course. My luck was the same when it came to thesis positions. Now, bear in mind, I did not apply for thesis with my university professors or any other university, as I wanted to get industry exposure. Nonetheless, I was able to land a WEG student position in a research institute. At that time, I decided to take an Urlaub semester, focusing on German language and doing the 2 HEVI and WEG student jobs. Now, I'm not saying that you should delay your master's degree, but if you have a specific goal in mind, then perhaps extending it by a semester can be helpful. So if you're in the first or second semester, I highly recommend that you apply for internships or HEVI positions. Internships might not pay as well, but you can learn many things and earn valuable experience. During the first 3 months of my Urlaub semester, I worked on my German language and reached around B1.1 level and tried to do the best possible WEG student job. My objective was not only to impress, but get an amazing recommendation letter, which I would use to apply for thesis positions. Fortunately, my supervisor liked my work so much that she asked me if I would continue and do a thesis with her. We sat together and decided the objectives of my thesis. This is another point that you should focus on. For those of you who are lucky enough to get a thesis position in Germany, try to add objectives or focus points in which you are actually interested in and want to learn. You might be asking, why should you add additional points and what should you add? Well, this is the point in your career where you don't have that much accountability, and as a student, you are here to learn. So why not add this to your thesis? To figure out what you should include, I want you to think about the job or company you would like to join after your thesis. Let's say you want to join Bosch as an engineer. So go to their website and find positions that fit you and look at the tasks. Have a look and see what skills do you have and what you are missing. Search for 10 to 15 other jobs and repeat the same. Now you can have a good idea of the things which are required in your field and things that you can improve on. Try to incorporate these things in your thesis. If there is resistance and you are unable to add these, it's okay. You can work on acquiring these skills on your own. I added a small hardware development module in my mostly software and testing thesis because I wanted to learn that. During my thesis, I was again proactive and started applying for jobs as soon as I had cleared the halfway point of 3 months. I got many rejections, a few positive responses asking to contact again once my degree was completed, but I was able to land my first interview in the 4th month of my thesis. I reached the 3rd interview with them, but I think I was too picky and a bit too rigid. I declined to do some tasks which I did not have interest in, even though I knew how to do them. So they did not decide to proceed any further. I did get a few more video interviews, but nothing special. I learned a few important lessons here. Number 1, I was getting more interviews to positions where I was sending my CV and cover letter in German. Number 2, most of the responses were from job postings that were less than a week old. Older postings were either ghosting me or sending me direct rejection emails. Most likely, they were in the later stages, perhaps they had already conducted interviews and had candidates already. Number 3, try to get the first possible interview date. I found that selecting the earliest possible interview date actually led me further compared to those where I selected something farther away. And number 4, don't be extremely picky. Try to be flexible and show that you are willing and able to learn things even if you don't know how to do them at the moment. Please hit the like button if you're getting value from this video and consider subscribing. Alright, in my journey, another month passed by. I was just getting rejections. I was thinking of extending my thesis for 3 more months at this moment. But by the end of the 6th month, something weird happened. My supervisor and her boss called a meeting. In that meeting, they had asked me if I would like to join as a full-time employee. Apparently, my supervisor had found another job and they wanted to ask me as I would seamlessly fit into the position. I accepted that position right away. Maybe I was lucky, maybe it was hard work, but one thing you must understand is that companies prefer to hire students who have already worked with them. This is another reason where some job postings never really hire anyone from outside, no matter how good an external candidate is. Most of the times, internal hirings are the preferred way. So always try to get one foot in a company by doing a heavy work student or a thesis there. But not everyone gets such opportunities. What if your thesis is over and you haven't landed a job after your master's in Germany has finished? Well, the counter has started. Remember, in most districts, your 18-month job search visa starts as soon as you submit and defend your thesis. Some districts give you time until you get your result. So please do not waste time thinking that your 18 months haven't started yet. There are even some districts where you need another blocked account to get the job search visa. I know that is a very tough situation to be in. However, there is a workaround to the block account in this situation. You can get a declaration of commitment from someone in Germany. If that's not possible, in some cases, this document has also been approved. This document helps you get support from your family back home based on their financial situation without you having to block any amount. Alright, if you have enough funds in your bank, you can skip the next step. But by the end of your thesis, chances are that your bank account is quite drained. I can attest for that firsthand. I used to get 430 euros during my thesis, where I was paying about 220 euros in rent and about 100 euros in insurance. I was dipping into my savings every single month. So if you are in a situation similar to that, then perhaps dedicating the first 2, maybe 3 months to a full-time odd job might not be a bad idea. Because having 15 months of job search visa with 4,000 euros in your bank account is way better than having 400 euros and an 18-month visa. Once you have some cash, now you can perhaps do a half-time job and focus half the time on job search. Why not focus 100% on the job search, you might ask? Well, the answer is very simple. How much time in a day can you really spend applying for jobs? Be totally honest. 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. Rest of the day, you would be either wasting doing unnecessary research or stressing that you're not finding a job. We want to have some funds coming our way while we look for a job. Additionally, doing something else can reduce stress, and don't forget the most important point. We want to improve our German language. And where else can you improve it if not actively talking to people and being in situations where you are forced to talk to people in German language? If you have stuck around till this point, please share this video with someone who might find it useful. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, that you should add tasks to your thesis. If you are unable to add those, then now is the time to learn those skills. Go back and watch how to search those skills if you skip that part, but knowing which tools, skills and tasks are being performed in your field are absolutely essential in helping you find a job in Germany after your master. So doing a part-time job, applying for relevant full-time jobs, and learning those essential skills should be your goal for the next few months. I know the job market is extremely tough right now, and there are very few opportunities out there. So try to get any upper hand you can. Leverage AI and learn how to use it, no matter what field you are in. And if you think you will be able to find a job without at least B2 German level, I'm sorry to say, you're going to have an extremely rough time. Now, one of the biggest reasons students struggle to find a job in Germany after masters is that they're using complicated CV formats. In this video, I share what I think is the best CV format in Germany. And in this video, I share step by step of exactly how to search for a job in Germany.